Adriana's audition. I explained my whole life to the cab driver. He listened as if he heard it all from so many other people before me. He listened to me, but I could tell he really didn't care. I didn't care if he wanted to listen. I needed to vent, and I thought it would distract him from the cigarette I was smoking. Periodically, he would give eye contact through the rearview window, hoping I would finish, but I talked and talked the whole way there. When I stopped, I took a deep breath and got out of the cab. I threw what was left of my last cigarette onto the street. "How much do I owe you?" I asked. $20, he answered. I gave him $30 and slammed the door. He waved to me, acknowledging the tip, and said, "Good luck," as he drove off. I stood there for a moment and thought to myself, I did it. I finally did it. I'm here. I looked down at a small piece of paper I was holding tightly for the whole ride. I opened it and read the address at least 3 times. It read, Lincoln Theater, 1215 U Street, Northwest, Washington, D.C. This has to be it. I remembered seeing it before, but it was so long ago. The African American Civil War Memorial sits right across the street. As I was walking towards the theater, I remembered my parents telling me how the U Street corridor was destroyed after Martin Luther King's assassination. The D.C. riots of 1968 left the U Street corridor nearly destroyed by violence and destruction. D.C. residents were filled with anger and pain when King was murdered. They threw trash cans through the windows, started fires, and looted goods from local stores. Everyone thought it would never recover, and yet it did. By the 1990s, the U Street corridor was revitalized, complete with new restaurants and clubs. A few parts of U Street survived the riots. Ben's Chili Bowl and the beautiful Arena Stage survived. I hadn't visited Arena Stage for years, but I always felt connected to Arena Stage. I always knew I was a survivor too. I turned the knob and walked up to the receptionist and said, "Audition for Stick Fly? Go down the hall and up 2 flights of stairs and turn right. The line starts from the green door and goes all the way down the hall. Good luck," she said. "What? A line?" I said. "Yes, they've been coming in to audition for that play all morning long," she said. "Wow, it's just a small play at a not-for-profit theater. I wouldn't have thought it would attract so many people, you know," I said as my voice trailed off to a whisper. "This is Arena Stage," she snapped. "Thanks," I said quickly, recognizing I offended her. I could tell she loved Arena Stage too. I smiled, not to offend her any more than I already had, and walked up the stairs quickly, just as she instructed. As I was walking, I looked down at my outfit and congratulated myself for picking it out. My outfit wasn't black like all the rest of my clothes. Normally, I can't stand to wear any clothes with colors, especially pink. I feel sick when I'm wearing pink. It's as though I'm lying to everyone. Black forces everyone to look at me and not my clothes. Somehow I like this floral dress I chose to wear. It's a dress I'd wear while cooking in a small kitchen without air conditioning on a hot day in D.C. I love that it was sleeveless with a scoop neck. When I sat down, the dress automatically fell between my legs when I leaned over to gossip and laugh. It was a hot day in D.C., so it was perfect. As I got in line, I noticed so many other women waiting for a chance to audition for the role of Taylor. Taylor was a young woman who just became engaged. I knew exactly how she felt. I was engaged once too. When a young woman becomes engaged to be married, she's filled with the excitement of life's possibilities. It's a time in her life when cynicism is buried under romance. She believes the world is so wrong about so many things, especially about love. Her relationship works in such a way the world can't possibly understand. The 60% divorce rate doesn't apply to her relationship. She feels as though even if only 1 in a million couples has a chance of lasting, hers will be that one. Maybe a tiny part of her knows she's taking a huge chance, but it's a chance she's willing to take. It's a chance she knows with all her heart that she has to take. Financial and educational status doesn't matter to her. She doesn't consider whether or not he respects her or whether he behaves violently sometimes. All that really matters to her is that they love each other. She says fiancé as much as she can because she loves hearing herself saying it. She wears her engagement ring hoping everyone notices it. She feels beautiful because someone loves her enough to promise God and the whole world to spend the rest of his life with her. She realizes some people think it's silly to feel like this, but the reality is she does. I remember feeling like that when I was first engaged. That was 12 years ago, but I'll never forget.